Good evening, everybody. It's 9:30 p.m. on October 6th here in Zhongshan, China. Time for another live stream. It's been a couple weeks, so I thought I'd fill you in with another behind the Rojo rope. And if you're catching it on the replay, you guys get to see what everything I've been doing the last couple weeks. It has been a crazy couple weeks. It really has. And the title of this live stream is the post-holiday syndrome. And that's because the holiday is over. Today's the last day of the National Day holiday. It's usually 7 days off. And then everyone goes back to work tomorrow. And then for me, my summer holiday is over, which means I go back to work on Monday. And I got my class schedule late last week. It's very busy over the next few months. And I'm going to be here in my office for the next couple of days, just preparing my lesson plans, tightening them up, finishing them up, getting them ready for the term, as well as trying to finish as many vlogs and as many videos as I can before the term starts, because I'm going to be extremely busy as soon as the term starts. And I'll be honest with you, I cannot wait. I've been out to the college. I've seen the new crop of students. They seem every year it looks like the students just get younger and younger. But the college is taking shape. There's still a lot of construction going on, but it has been a wonderful summer, one of the best summers I've had here in China. I've done a lot of traveling. I've got to experience a lot of things, and I've shared most of it with you. However, not everything is finished yet. I have about 15 projects. I counted them up. There's 15, literally 15 different files of projects that I'm currently working on. And of a variety of subjects. I mean, a lot of you like my car videos. There's a lot of car videos coming. Some of you like my food videos. There's a lot of that. Travel videos, hotel videos, um, life in China. Business factories. It's all there, and it's all getting done. In fact, I just finished a vlog today on the Shenzhen International Auto Show that I attended last weekend in Shenzhen, and this is something I'm trying something new. Every time I do a vlog or every time I do a video, I try something new. This time I've tried to do it in 4K. And I know I mentioned this like a year ago that I was going to do 4K, but I just didn't have the capacity or the time to do that all. But this one, I filmed it all in 4K, had about 2 hours of raw footage of the show. I edited it and I exported it. And now I'm trying to upload it to YouTube in 4K. And I hope it makes a difference. Some people have commented that the quality of my videos is lacking a little bit as far as the visual. And, I get that. I always upload in 1080p. So I'm hoping that 4K will be an improvement. Now, if you indeed it is an improvement, because it's hard for me to see from here, just, one of those you can't see the forest through the trees kind of thing, right? So please, when you watch that vlog, and please comment, is the quality better? Do you want to see more of this? Because it's the difference between exporting to it's a 25-minute video, a 3 or 4 gigabyte file to an 85 gigabyte file. And that's what it is. I got an 85 gigabyte video file for this video that's trying to upload right now. And it's taking hours. I mean, it's been uploading for a few hours right now. I'm only about a third the way done. So this is not going to get released tonight. It'll probably get released tomorrow morning, which will be evening time in America and the West Coast. So that being said, I want to say I want to geek out a little bit about my Dodgers. Go Dodgers! Tomorrow is a very, very big day. I guess it's morning, so it's morning in America, so it's evening tonight. But for me, it'll be 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. We play the wild card game against St. Louis, and I'm very excited for the game. I'm a little nervous. I wish we had won the division, but I give it up to the Giants. They had an amazing season, and they earned the division title this year. As well as the Dodgers played all year long, and as much as I love the season that we had, I watched as many games as I could. I followed the drama all the way to the very end. I watched every pitch in the last 3 games. The Saturday night's game was so exciting when we came within 1 game of the division, and then we fell 1 game short. But we're going to be up against a very good and very well-respected veteran team, St. Louis, and it's going to be a fight. It really is. And I think they're throwing Wainwright against us, which is a very good pitcher. I've got a lot of respect for that guy. It's gonna be a pitcher's duel because we got Scherzer on the mound. Now I remember Scherzer was a late get for the Dodgers, but what a get he has been. And he's one of those pitchers that even though he was on another team all those years and we always played against him, we always respected him because you knew he was that good. As well as Scherzer has been for us, I truly believe that the key player that has given us this push towards the end was Trey Turner, and he has just been incredible. And I think he deserves all the credit for getting us to where we are right now. As well as all the regulars on the team, Urias, all the pitchers that pitch, Bueller, of course, Muncy, who unfortunately got hurt on the last day. That's a tough one, right? But okay, so I got to geek out a little bit. The reason is I'm geeking out on baseball is because in just a few hours that game is going to be played, and I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to watch every pitch of it. So yes, I can stream the games from China. I also have been very heavily involved in a new project about baseball in China that I'll share with you a little bit. So say hi, where are you guys hailing from? Let's see, Hamza Ahmed. Hi, thank you for joining me, sir. And window into micro world. Yeah, it's early this time. Usually I don't start these till 10 o'clock, but I started a little early tonight. What the hell? I had no schedule for this. And I know everyone wants me to get onto a schedule, but I don't like schedules. I don't like bosses. I don't like people telling me what to do. I spent most of my life with bosses and stuff. So, sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't. Tonight felt like a live stream, talk to all of you guys. So thanks for joining me, Here's a good comment. I would like to see you hiking in at Xinjiang Mountain. Very beautiful mountain. I would love to go to Xinjiang. I really would. It's on my to-do list. China is so big and there's so much to do. And yes, I have a lot of time, but my summer was taken up with all these other projects. And because there were these minor COVID outbreaks all throughout the summer here and there, it made traveling I don't want to say difficult, but it made it a little risky. And not that I thought I would get sick. It was risky in that the flights are canceled and you can get stuck. And my schedule was so tight that I couldn't risk a delay here or a delay there. And it happened to me in Hangzhou. I had like 3 or 4 flights canceled trying to get out of Hangzhou back to Zhuhai during that trip. And it was tough because I got the last flight late at night. I didn't get in till about 2 a.m. and then I had to be up at about 6:37 a.m. to go to another appointment. So it was really rough, and I didn't want to put myself through that. So Xinjiang is far away. It's not like it's in my backyard, but it is definitely a place on my hit list. And if I go, I don't want to go because it's so big. You don't want to go for 3 or 4 days, which most of my trips are. You want to go for a week, 2 weeks, and really, really dive deep into it. But it's definitely something I want to do. I got a lot of things planned over the next couple of weeks. I'll share those with you guys here in a little bit. But yeah, it's a great get. Lots of great mountains to climb. I mean, here in Guangdong, there's great mountains I can climb. Now that I'm feeling healthier again, my back is healthy again. My foot has healed quite a bit. I haven't tested it since Zhengzhou a few months ago, when the pain really swelled up a lot. I have been completely off of it since that trip, and I haven't tested it at all. I haven't been to the gym other than go swimming here and there, do some laps. I haven't even been lifting weights. I have not been exercising for most of the summer. I have a variety of ailments for, when you get old. Getting old's a bitch, guys. So I still have a bruised knuckle socket in my left middle finger. That was from playing baseball a couple months ago. And it is better, but I still can't grip 100%. and it is still a little swollen. I mean, the bruise is deep inside the knuckle, and I've gotten the treatment. I've got taken the meds. I will do more, but it's to the point now where I can swim with no pain. I can actually lift weights with no discomfort. It's just occasionally if I overextend it or something, I feel a little bit more pain. So it's not healed completely, and it's amazing. Um, all the things that a bruised knuckle socket on your middle finger can keep you from doing. It really is incredible. So, I'm waiting for that to heal. And, I have a small pain in my shoulder again, but that's my doing. I slept on it wrong one day. These things happen. So, uh, some climbing mountains. My number one tip is always go up. It's the number one rule when you go climbing, when you go hiking, is at the beginning of your hike, go up. If you come to a fork in the road, which one is up, which one is down, go up. Because at the end of the day, it's much easier to go down. So that's my biggest tip. And have a goal in mind. Definitely have a goal. You can wander on a mountain. That's wonderful and great if you're exploring a mountain. But if you're climbing a mountain, the goal is the peak, and figure out the best route to get to the peak. And always go up. There's always much easier to go down. Okay. Let's share with you some pictures. I got a lot of great pictures over the last couple of weeks. Okay, let's see here. Well, that's not it. I'm sorry, guys. There they are. Okay. So we'll share my screen here. Okay. So, as I've been told you, baseball, and this is the Pandas Heritage Baseball Stadium here in Zhongshan. It's in the town of Dongshan, and most people think that baseball is definitely not played in China. That's not true. Baseball has over 100 years of history in China. In fact, Sun Yat-sen, which is the town I live in, named at Zhongshan, Sun Zhongshan, learned the game when he was in Hawaii, when he was a teenager studying in Hawaii, and he brought it back and he started his own firm. But it really wasn't until the 1940s that baseball kind of took off a little bit. When what's his name? I can't remember his name, but he was a native of Zhongshan. He came back from the States to China and started a team called the Pandas. And this team is now located here in Zhongshan, which is his hometown. And now baseball is going crazy. They tried to launch it around the Beijing Olympics, the Summer Olympics. There was an exhibition game between the Dodgers and the Padres that was played, and then it was played during the Olympics, but it didn't catch on. It really didn't have any kind of spectators. And there's been some professional leagues that have started and then failed for financial reasons. So what Major League Baseball has decided to do is to start these development centers for youngsters, and Zhongshan is one of them. And now they are focusing on youth baseball and developing from a young age, and it's paying off because now you have a dozen baseball players from these Chinese camps that have made it into the minor leagues. Specifically, there's 3 of them that have been signed by the Milwaukee Brewers, and more are coming. And these facilities, this one here, was opened less than 2 years ago. Only a seating capacity of about 1,000, but it's to international standards. I mean, it's an incredible facility, and it's being used all the time for tournaments, for games, for summer camps for the kids and everything. That the demand for baseball facilities is far exceeded the actual facilities themselves, and a lot of parents are looking to get their children into this game. There's a lot of course, everyone plays basketball, especially kids. They love basketball, ping pong, badminton. These are popular sports, but baseball is the next big one, I believe. And you're going to start to see a lot more of this. I am currently working on a project, and I'm almost done with it, about baseball in China, because Zhongshan is one of the places that baseball is a big thing. And I got to get a tour of this facility, as well as get some insight into what's happening, as well as the Asian Games playing in Hangzhou in 2022 will be the next big event for baseball in China. And we're going to start to see more and more players coming from China and baseball becoming a thing in China. And I'm very excited for that. So that's a project. I was out here. This was actually taken just today. I was out there today watching the game. These are, excuse me, these are about high school age kids. This was a tournament, a local tournament, Guangdong tournament, I believe. And the team in white is from Guangzhou. And man, they were good. I enjoyed watching this game. I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched about 5 or 6 innings. And I gotta say, the talent that I see here is incredible. And I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It was wonderful to watch. So that's one project coming up. I'm trying to up my game a little bit. And this is the Canon 90D that I'm thinking about purchasing. I usually just use my DJI cameras to film all my vlogs. They film in 4K. They do a great job. But I'm looking for a little bit more professional equipment. I have a little bit of money set aside that I've saved to buy new equipment. This is the one I'm thinking of purchasing. It's either this or the new iPhone 13 Pro because the camera on that thing is so sick. I have an iPhone 11. I really don't use it to shoot vlogs, even though it does an amazing job. But I really like to up my game a little bit and get some professional equipment. So I'm thinking of purchasing this. If you guys have any comments or any suggestions for camera equipment, what do you use? I'm also interested in still photography as well. So let me know. I visited this place. Now, this is just an apartment. This is another project I'm working on. There's a lot of talk in the world right now about Evergrande and real estate in China and empty apartments and whatnot. And I'm happy to comment on that. It is a unique phenomenon to China, but most people who do comment on this who are outside of China have a imperfect understanding of the way the market works here. Yes, there are some over leveraged issues, and the company is struggling a lot, as well as some other real estate companies. Is there a bubble? We'll find out. No one really knows. Everyone can only speculate. The main issues are in the big cities, of course, the tier 1 cities, but in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, real estate remains quite affordable, even if you use PE ratios. And, big cities always have ups and downs in the market, big swings, and smaller cities have a little bit steadier growth. How do they do this? Well, here in my town in Zhongshan, we have empty buildings that are brand new, and they are slowly being moved into. It takes time. It's not like you build a house and boom, someone moves into it right away as soon as it's ready. That's not kind of the way it works here. But one of the things that is happening is a lot of these apartments are being bought up by hotel management companies, and they are being sold or rented as kind of an Airbnb model, but on a corporate scale. And this is true in my building. The studio I am in right now was formerly a hotel room. It has a little key card slot at the front for the power generator. That I still use that. And when I moved in here, I renovated it and made it into a studio. But the next couple rooms next to me in this building are used as hotel rooms, and they're occupied, 3 or 4 nights a week because they have incredible views. And there are 3 or 4 management companies who manage these apartments as hotels, as hotel rooms here in the building, and they have offices in the building themselves. And when I first came to this building, I had a long-term lease with one of these companies, and that was my first studio. But while I was searching for this and while we were renovating this studio, anyways, I made friends with them, and they've been very nice to me. They're still good friends. Their office is right downstairs, and I see them in the elevator all the time. I'm very friendly with them, and they have a um, new set of apartments in a brand new building downtown. and they asked me, "Would you like to stay here and make a video about it?" I said, "Sure, this is a great idea. I want to make a video about uh, this Airbnb model apartment, serviced apartments, if you will. There's massive companies that do this throughout China, and this is a smaller company here in Zhongshan that I'm a big fan of. And so I stayed in this room for a night. Brand new. I was the first one to stay in here, and everything is brand new. The modern appliances, full kitchen. It's 2 stories. It's not very large. It's like a large duplex hotel suite, if you will, but it's got 2 bedrooms, including one of them is a kind of a calligraphy art studio, if you will. It's one of their selling points. But the big thing about this is that it's the new generation of serviced apartments from hotel management, and that is the smart rooms. So we all know about smart rooms and Alexa, and it can control, you talk to the, hey Siri, turn on the AC, right? Okay. So that is obviously there. They have, the little computer that you give voice commands to, and it will do everything. But in addition to that, you don't have to check in like you regularly would at a hotel. Instead, you fill out you book the room on Trip.com or Expedia, just like you would a hotel. You send them all the information, you send them the deposit, and then they text you a link. There's no app to download or anything. They text you a link. Hit the link, and it opens up in your web browser, and that is full access to the entire apartment. Everything in the apartment. You can turn on the water kettle. You can open the door. You can turn off the lights. They have different lighting settings. There are lights everywhere in this place. I mean, there's like 4 different settings. You have leisure, which turns on some of the lights and dims others and like closes the sheens. You turn it on business, which turns on all the lights around the desk and everything. You turn full bright. And then you have sleep, which turns off all the lights and closes all the blinds. In addition to that, you can control the television, you control the Bluetooth radio, the medicine cabinets are smart. You can connect to the medicine cabinet to on your phone to play music, to defog the mirror if it's steamy in there, and you can do that all on your phone, conceivably from the other side of the world. So, I mean, just practical things, if I'm in a meeting on one side of town and, my girlfriend wants to get into the room and she can't get to my side of the town where I have the key card, I can open the door for her, turn on the lights, and of course you can do all that in there anyways. There's all the switches, everything, but I can literally control the entire apartment from anywhere in the world through the web browser and that link. And I can summon room service. I can summon housekeeping. I can request, a late checkout. I mean, I can adjust the temperature. Um, Everything is connected. It's really remarkable. And this is the future of serviced apartments and hotels. Now, I love hotels because I like service. I like amenities. I like restaurants. I like swimming pools. A lot of these serviced apartments here that are not lived in are being built for this purpose and being bought and invested in. And then it's like a revenue for this purpose. Really, really neat stuff. So that is a vlog that I am also currently working on. I have more filming for it to do probably tomorrow or the next day, probably Friday. And then I hope to have that up by the end of the week. It's not going to be a long vlog, but it'll show you guys kind of what that model is. The building that I'm in, I've never seen this in America, is a multi-use building. I mean, it is literally each unit can be used for a business, could be used as a hotel room, could used to be a personal residence. Mine is a studio, and the one next to me is a hotel. In fact, the next 3 are hotel rooms by one of these management companies. But next to that is a hair salon on the 14th floor. There are construction companies, there are investment companies, there are yoga studios here, there are photography studios. There's a restaurant. There's a really well-rated Italian restaurant on like the 18th floor, and I love that style of a building. It's not just residential, it's multi-purpose. And I see a lot of that. And that's what a lot of these buildings are being used as. So yeah, it's not just office park apartments, excuse me, hotel. It can be all of it. And it really makes for a dynamic place to work or live or to do business in. It's great. Hope these kids won't want this tech because I feel we are going the wrong way. It's a good point, man. I'm an old man, and I was nervous when they started talking to me about this, and saying, "Hey, Paul, we'd like you to showcase this tech." I was like, I don't want to have to download an app and then register the app, and then half the time when these new things come out, they some things aren't plugged in, they don't work. There's an error in the app, and that's been my experience in the past. So I'm always skeptical of it, but and I remember when I showed up to spend the night here, that was my initial feeling was like, "Oh my god, this is just going to be a nightmare. I really don't want to go through with it. It's just so inconvenient." But it wasn't. Everything worked through the web browser. I tapped on the phone and everything worked perfectly the first time out. And I was the first one to try it out. I was the guinea pig. I was the first one to stay in this place. So it really kind of opened my eyes a lot to it and made me feel a lot more comfortable with it in the future. Yeah. I went up to, let's see, I have another photo of it. Oh, is that it? Yeah, here's the kitchen. Yeah, it's just a little kitchenette. Again, everything brand new. Everything is connected to the smart. Anyways, it'll be a video coming out fairly soon. Young crowd in America likes the idea of grocery store on the first floor, but as we mature, we want privacy, yards, dogs, places for kids to play. Some people, yeah, sure. It depends on the lifestyle that you want. I mean, I grew up in suburbia where you had to get on a bicycle and ride for half an hour to the local supermarket or something like that. And I can appreciate the safetiness and the quiet that those types of neighborhoods provide. But at my age now, I really like living in the middle of the city and the convenience factor. I live on top of a giant mall with, 30 restaurants and a movie theater and a gym and 3 layers of parking and a walkable old town all around me with coffee shops and bars and a nightlife and late night barbecue. I love that lifestyle because it fits for me. So that's what I like. Yeah, everyone has a different wants and a different like, I guess. But I can appreciate the quietness of, I mean, when I'm an old man, when I'm a really old man, I hope to go into the um, countryside and live a quiet life as an old man. No, of course not. No. I'm not married and I don't have kids, nor will I ever be. It is a personal decision that I made a long, long time ago, and I'm very happy with that decision. So, um, not that I have anything against children. It's just was never in the cards for me. Never was. Never wanted it. Now I'm 42 years old. Uh, I don't see it in my near future, so I really don't see it in my distant future either. Some great comments, guys. Thanks for joining me here. Like a vertical microcosm of society, the way you just described your building. Very good. Yes. A vertical microcosm of society. I'm going to steal that, dude, because that's really good. It's exactly kind of what it is. And that's the way a lot of urban living is, I suppose. And China has different styles of living. You have your city villages. You have these giant super block gardens, which I've lived in and kind of don't like. I mean, I call them human storage facilities, but they're also kind of inconvenient because there's a single entrance. And if you're the top floor building 8B, you have to go down the elevator, walk through the garden, out the entrance, and around the corner just to hit the local 7-Eleven up. And it seems just as inconvenient as being in the suburbs if you want to just go out and take care of an errand, a quick errand or something. So I like where I live now because right off the elevator is my parking spot if I need to use my car. First floor out the front door, I've got the mall, I've got the city right there in front of me. I mean, I'm literally in the heart of the city here, so everything's within walking distance for me, and I love that. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And that, that's the lifestyle I embrace. And so it fits for me. If I had kids and, lived that lifestyle, I wouldn't be living here. No way. Um, I'd probably want, I do want a dog. I'd love to have a dog, but I can't have a dog in this lifestyle. I travel too much anyways. I can't take care of a pup. But, when I get older and slow down a little bit, I'll go back to the Black Hills of South Dakota and live quietly, have a couple pups, maybe a horse, and have a vegetable garden. You know how it is. I got a long way to go before that, guys. Long way to go. Okay, a couple more photos. I visited Guangzhou for a weekend. I stayed at the W Hotel. First time at the W. Another hotel video coming out soon. Great hotel. Little attention to detail issues. That's just me being me when it comes to hotels. But a fun, just a great vibe. I was there on a Saturday night, and there were people enjoying the night. There were people out on dates, going to dinner. There was a nightclub downstairs. There were artsy people like in the lobby on computers working on the day's shoot. There were meetings happening. It was just a very vibey place. I really enjoyed it. Right downtown Guangzhou, and of course um, Oh, no, this isn't those tacos, these are something else. But, of course, I did go to Banditos and, get some Mexican food. So, whenever I'm in Guangzhou, I gotta go there. But the reason why I was there, I'll go back to the tacos in a second, but the reason why I was in Guangzhou was I went here. Well, that's not a good one. Here. I went to this show at the Guangzhou. It's the same area, the Canton Fair. They call it the Maritime Silk, you know, exhibition, international exhibition. It was like a weird mix of, like, ultra modern technology conference mixed in with international travel conference. A strange mix. And then right next to that was like a national milk and dairy conference. And then right next to that was like a national cooking oil and grain conference. And then right next to that was like a national health foods conference. So it was a strange day to where in one pavilion, I saw these guys, with robotic arms and new technologies and, you know, flying, personal taxi drones, right? It was crazy. This one was really cool. This is the like the surfboard with a motor on it, so you can like surf. Yeah. Anyways, really neat stuff. A lot of VR games, things. A lot of technology companies. It was really cool to walk around. Again, this is all being filmed. It's all coming out in a film. And then right after that, I went next to the next pavilion. I was sampling, you know, milk. And after that, it was in the next pavilion. I was sampling health foods. So it was a strange day. Again, another video coming out soon on the channel, along with the the W Hotel one. You'll like. I think it'll be an interesting one. Mona and I had to do one. Here's Mona. We had to do one last holiday before the. Whoop! I'm not sharing the photos. Sorry. Uh, hold on. All right, there's the VR. Sorry, I wasn't sharing the photos, guys. That's the VR rides. This is the little surfboard I was telling you about. Really cool thing. They had like videos of these guys, playing with these things, and man, I want to try this. This looks like fun. That's the taxi cab. There's a lot of companies, a lot of drone companies. It's not just DJI. There are a, I must have been half a dozen drone companies there that have agricultural drones. And this is like one of like three companies that are producing these taxi Uber DD kind of, short flight drone companies that are starting trials very soon here in China. They believe this will be up and running by 2025, so within the next 3 4 years. Here's the robot guy. Uh, this dude was struggling. He just looked so tired. It would break every now and then. He had to take everything off and fix it, and he got back in. And he started to play with it again, but really, really cool. Then the video will show just how everything moves with his hand. It's incredible technology. A lot of really cool technology there. Exit out of that. Okay, let's go back to my holiday that we had. We needed one last holiday, Mona and I, and so we went to Shenzhen. We went to Shukou and just partied for Shukou's in Shenzhen, and we just partied for a weekend. Shukou, if you don't know, Shukou is this place. Um, that's not a good photo. Here, check this one out. Shukou, if you know Shenzhen, you know this area. It's this big cruise ship that's kind of in dry dock now and has been converted into a hotel. We stayed at this hotel. It's called the Madison, and we got a great view on one of the upper decks with a beautiful view of the water show and everything. And we stayed there for a couple nights. And the Shuko area, Shuiwan Village, is very well known for being kind of an expat enclave for Shenzhen. There's an awful lot of international people there. And as a result of that, there's an awful lot of international foods. And so we just pigged out. We started with Mexican foods. We went and ate. This is tacos. That's the name of the restaurant. These are the Baja fish tacos, and they taste just like they are back home in Southern California, Baja. They're just perfect. So we pigged out on that. I had a horchata to go with it, taco salad, right? And right next to that is a Turkish coffee shop where I had my first Turkish coffee, and it's owned by a man from Istanbul who's kind of a local celebrity there. And I got filming of all of this, and we got a little interview with him on how you make Turkish coffee, because it's so much different. It's very rich and very thick, and I thought it was delicious. I thought the process was interesting. If you like coffee, you know what I'm talking about. His name was Jojo. Go to Jojo's, and tacos are right next to each other in the area. Check them out. And we also ate a lot of Indian food. Not a very good picture, but we love Indian food. Uh, good spicy stuff. And we finished it off with some drinks at another Mexican bar, and we just had a great time. Walked around the Shuko area. There's a lot of construction going on. These apartments here are just going to be insanely expensive. They're right on the water, but it was a holiday, so all the fishing boats were in, and it was a very interesting place to walk around and check out. Great time on a boat. I'm on a boat. Take a long look, because I'm sailing on a boat. I had that song from SNL stuck in my head the whole time we were out there. I'm on a boat. I love that. Yeah, there's a German brewery. It's a German brewery on top of this boat. So that deck is, you drink German beer that's brewed right there on the boat. It's really cool. And of course, you have your regular assortments of all different Chinese foods from all around China and stuff like that. So you're not going to go hungry here. Lots of Italian, lots of pizza, lots of burger joints. In the morning, I don't have photos of it, but in the morning, there's a bagel place, a healthy New York style bagel place called H&H Gourmet. And I got to meet the owner, and he's from New York, and his idea for having a bagel place was exactly what I remember it being in New York. Was, every kind of bagel you can think of. They make their own bagels, bagel chips with a bagel breakfast sandwich. You can have it with any way you want. With cream cheese, you can have it with salmon, you can have it with tomatoes or anything. Super, super healthy, great coffee. And again, it was being in an area like this is such a treat for me, because I don't live in an expat enclave. I live in, a regular Chinese city, and I don't live in a first tier city that have these expat enclaves. So the idea that I get to go there every now and then and just, you know, get my fill, get my fix of incredible international cuisines, as well as being around that community was wonderful. It was a wonderful getaway for a couple of days. And we went there for the auto show, the Shenzhen auto show. Lovely beauties, you know, the girls are nice too. Yeah, this is the going to be the thumbnail for the video, I guess. Excuse me. Obviously, Maseratis. Incredible cars at this show. I finished the vlog this afternoon. I'm uploading it in 4K. It's my first 4K video. It's 85 gigs, so it's taking forever. And I really, really hope you, as my audience, can see a difference. Uh, I usually just upload in 1080p because I'm poor and I don't have storage and capacity or patience for the computing power to run 4K. But this one, I put a lot of work into it in 4K. It's a 25-minute video, so it's 85 gigs. That's a lot of storage for a small YouTuber like me. But if you like it and it looks good, if it looks better, if you can see a difference, please comment below when you watch the video so that I will know to do it more. And because there's some incredible footage I usually film in 4K. And I've got some incredibly beautiful stuff that I want to show in 4K. But again, it's just a matter of continuous improvement, trying to do better, trying to do better. All right, that's it. That's it for the photos, guys. I can keep the photo on the beautiful ladies for you for a second if you want. Jim says, "Morning, Paul. Finally made one of these live streams." Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Jim, where are you hailing from? I know it's 10:15 p.m. here on, what is it, Wednesday night? German brewed, fresh on the boat. They think it warms, so that's like drinking straight from the cow's teat. Excellent. I need cold beer myself, but nothing like fresh hops. I like cold beer too, man. I'm a cold beer guy. I don't drink warm beer. Jim says California. Oh, so it's early in the morning, 7:15 a.m. there, eh, Jim? My thoughts go out to everyone in Southern California. I've been following the oil spill. All of that is happening in Orange County, where I grew up. Huntington Beach, Newport Beach. I grew up in Irvine, which is right there. I spent so much of my youth on those beaches and at that harbor and off that coast, scuba diving and fishing. And I know exactly where that is and what's going on there. Those oil platforms that are out there, those offshore drilling platforms, we would take the boat out there and they were great fishing areas. There's a lot of good fishing around those oil platforms. And I've been following the reasons why it happened and what they think happened. And it's a fascinating news story, but it's not over yet because I think it's going to trickle down the that Alaskan current is going to trickle it down south. It's going to go down to our neighbors in San Diego. So my heart goes out to everybody in Southern California dealing with it. That oil spill. Oh, it's such a heartbreaking thing to see those beaches with black, oil balls all over it. I hate that. But I am following it. It makes me miss home a little bit. It makes me a little homesick. All right. Okay, let's go to the news. I got some news to share with you guys. News about China. Let's click through all these. Okay. Let's do some news. Boom. Okay. The first news I'm talking about is a new hiking trail that someone told me about here in Zhongshan. This has been passing around the foreign teacher community here in Zhongshan, and a lot of them, I think, went out there today to this trail. And my biggest thing about Wu Guishan and the trails is I don't know where the trailheads are. You always kind of have to find them. and this one had a map. And I just wanted to show you how beautiful Wuguishan is. It's the mountain behind me in Zhongshan, and I often go there to film. I've shared with you hiking and exploring those mountains in the past, and I don't always have a camera or share everything I see, but you can see just how beautiful it can be in this my local mountains. If Zhongshan didn't have these local mountains, I don't know if I would stay here because they really do make a difference to the quality of the lifestyle here. And you can go swimming, incredible. So I am looking forward to hitting up this trail now that the weather's getting a little cooler and going out there and enjoying a lot more of Wugeshan. I There's great places to go backpacking, camping. A lot of trail runners, a lot of mountain bikers out there. There are little hidden secrets because this information about where the trails are, the trailheads are, it's only passed amongst the locals. You can't go online to find these things. So I've spent years finding my own personal spots that I like. But since COVID, a lot of things have been closed. So there's a few villages back there, and they don't let you go into the villages since COVID started. But those are slowly coming down, and you can explore it again. And so I'm really, really excited. Dr. Death says, I'm local to the Leinen Kut. I can't say that. I just, man, I'm sorry. I don't wanna like say it and butcher it because I can't pronounce German words to save my life. I've tried so many times, it's impossible. That and the spotted cow are my jam. Yeah, there seemed to be a great nightlife. There are a lot of like watering holes in the Shuko area. And I know if I lived there, I'd probably go to many of them, but that's not the lifestyle that I mean, when I was younger, I thought maybe that would be good. But you know, nowadays I've slowed down a little bit. I kind of like I don't go to bars very often anymore. But yeah, great nightlife there to spend the weekend. And Mona and I, we had a great time. We went to a couple of places and had a drink. We did a little bar hopping thing at night, and we had a great time. It was wonderful. Great people watching because it's not just the local Chinese people that are there. Again, you have people from all around the world, and you have families living there. It's a wonderful mix, a cosmopolitan mix in that area, and so it's just great to sit with a beer and watch the people go by. It's wonderful. No, what I mean is watering holes. Watering holes is in the bar scenes. It's not my thing. Yeah, I'm not a bar guy, um, but I do like urban life. No, that's how I don't think I can contradict myself. I just needed to clarify a little bit. Okay, next, let's talk about the power shortages. Okay, so this is a real thing. This is really a serious thing in China. Now, here in Guangdong, in my part of Guangdong, um, I have not experienced any kind of blackouts or brownouts in my city or the surrounding cities. I haven't heard of any. This is mostly in the northern provinces, but here in Guangdong, there are notices of factories being asked to shut down for a day or two a week, or to spread out their production schedules a little bit more to save on energy. There are initiatives put out to cut down on energy consumption. But I mean, right now, if I look out into the city, I mean, it's 10:20, and the city is lit up like Disneyland right now. So, but I know like heavy consumption, factories have been asked to cut production by a day or two. A lot of these production, especially if they have money, they have alternative power generation. They have solar panels on their roofs. They have exterior generators, and it's a cost benefit analysis. How many days of production are you going to lose? And is it worth it to run on external power or to invest in um, solar panels on the roof? is that a better investment than losing production? So a lot of these companies are making those determinations now, and they're following through with it. That's what's happening here in the Pearl River Delta in the Guangdong area. Most of the power here is nuclear power. There's a nuclear power plant. You throw a stone, you'll hit three of them. So they're everywhere here in Guangdong. Now, the north of China is dealing with much different because there's a lot more coal powered generated plants there. So it's a different monster there, and it is a problem. And it's all mostly supply based, but it's also that time of year that power consumption is the demand is just so high. In fact, here I have another story that goes with this. Here, check this out. Awkward. Car owners queued for hours on services zones just for charging their electric cars. I found this fascinating because I can appreciate electric cars and the technology behind electric cars, but I've always said I'm not going to buy an electric car because I'm not convinced about the convenience factor of it yet. I think plug-in hybrids is the way to go still. I don't think the market is ready for the whole thing to be electric, and it proved itself over the national holiday. So when you drive on the highways here, you have service stations where you get off, you fuel your car, and there are electric stations there. And they're usually places where you can charge. But during a national holiday, when everyone's leaving the cities in their electric cars and driving, there's no place you have to line up to get your car charged at these charging stations. And these poor people were stuck waiting for up to 16 hours to charge their car on the highways trying to get home. So that's what I'm talking about. It everyone knows the amount of electric cars that are being sold in China, which is a wonderful thing, great thing, especially city daily commute living. Great, awesome. I'm a guy who likes to take road trips, so it doesn't really work out. It doesn't make sense for me to have an EV. But when these guys leave, um, the capacity the for charging these charging stations have gone up by about 50 or 60% year over year. I think that's the number I read. But the demand over the holiday was four times higher than they expected, and so that's what happened there. uh, so yeah, interesting. Yeah, it took her 16 hours to finally get home. 20 cars in the queue. And this takes into account not just the charging stations, but also the battery swap stations for like Neos and stuff. So even the Neo capacity was beyond. So if you bought a Neo thinking you could just swap your battery and go, you still had to wait for in a queue with the other Neos to get your battery swapped. Mm. Whereas I have a friend who has the Lixiang, and she was able to drive to the other side of the country and back, no issues, because it's a plug-in hybrid. Mm, fascinating stuff. I think that this power issue is um is going to last a little while. It's going to last a while, and especially as the winter comes, and especially in the north, we haven't seen the end of it. I think it's going to be a new normal just for maybe the next quarter or two until more capacity comes online, which they're doing. They're ramping up capacity, the investments, but local businesses are also investing in alternative power sources, not just hooking up to the grid. So the market will find equilibrium, but it's going to take some time to get there. Um, yeah, it's going to sting the manufacturing. I really, I think everyone's in agreement that this is going to affect manufacturing. There's already many orders that are being delayed because of this. And in addition, it's also because the demand for electricity is much higher than it's ever been. The economy really is rocking and rolling, and so we'll see. Yeah, America too, right? Hmm. Snarky's on. Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining me, dude. Loved your video, your recent video. Go check out Snarky's new video. Classic Snarky video. Cut in these little quips and movie quotes and pop culture references that we all love, man. Thanks for doing that. It was great to watch it. Um, Wait a minute. You have one oh, you have essays to do. Okay. Well, tomorrow, I start my term on Monday. I start teaching in the classroom again. So I'm going to be spending the next few days finalizing my lesson plans for the term, for the whole term. So I start a little bit later at the university than most other teachers do. That's just the way the schedule works. But when I am teaching, I am extremely busy. So for the next 3 months, I'm swamped. And then I get a nice long holiday for Spring Festival, and then I'm swamped again. But it's best to go into the term as prepared as possible, and I'll tweak it. I'll tweak the lesson plans and the lectures and everything as I go. But I have nothing else planned between now and Monday. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right at this desk. I am editing videos. I am eating Meituan, and I am doing lesson plans and watching the game tomorrow morning. Dodgers and Cardinals. Can always count on Snarky to add a little humor to the live stream, man. I got to get you on, dude. Uh Next time I do this, okay, this is a promise to everyone out there. Next time I do this, I'm getting Snarky on the live stream. We're gonna banter about something. We're gonna get a topic, and he's gonna be my guest. I've been his guest on his live stream many times. He's been so wonderful to me. Snarky, you got to come on. You got to come on my show and join us because it would be so much fun. We got to think of a groovy, fun, interesting topic, and we'll just banter. We'll get someone else on that. We got to do it, dude. You promised me you would, so let's do it. Been saying it for months. You add EV and say you're going to cut coal, and I call BS. Huh? Well, I mean, the in my opinion, it's the same. It's just, in America too, right? You're right, Dr. Death. You're absolutely right. In America too, it's the same issue. The demand really is a demand for all power sources. All hands on deck. You cutting coal is one thing, but you can't cut coal completely out because we need it. We need the power. So it's nuclear power, it's hydro, it's wind, it's natural gas, it's everything. All needs to come into play right now, and massive investments in alternative energy so that we can cut down on coal as a total percentage of energy output. But yeah, we'll see what happens. You got a great point there. Yeah, it does. I mean, the other alternative right now is natural gas, and I know General Electric has some huge import ports in western or eastern Guangdong, and that seems to be that could be a short-term fix. Uh, a lot of it has to do with carbon emissions meeting environmental standards and quotas that you want to hit, as well as safety standards. Some of these power plants, so it's an additional investments into all forms of energy. It's a hugely complex issue. I wish, you know, if we were smart enough, we press a button and it would fix the issue. But of course, you got some of the smartest people in the world trying to fix the issue, and it's still not fixed. It's gonna be a while. Yes, Snarky, sounds like fun. You're in. Uh, no, you don't. Yeah, please wear pants. uh, yeah, I'm wearing pants today. Just had to check. All right, let's go back to the news. Couple more. Okay, so we're done with that. China's after school training centers are struggling to survive. We've talked about this in the past. Let's talk about it a little bit more, shall we? Um, this is also a real deal. The schools are all these after school training centers. Many of them are closing down, And a lot of them are closing because they don't see a future, or they can't get additional investment, or the owners are simply cutting their losses, taking their capacity, taking the value that they have, uh, liquidating, and then starting other business ventures. However, there are some other training centers that are flourishing right now. There's a parents that I've talked to about this. Man, I don't teach kids. I work at this university, but parents that teach kids, uh, parents want their kids to learn, and they're upset about this because the idea was to lower the costs of raising children, but in reality, it's creating a black market and actually raising the costs. If you decide to go to the black market to try to find education for your children, that has been the short term result of this, and it might end up being the long term. But I have also seen other companies blowing up, and those are the adult language centers, centers that focus on teaching adults, because these parents are taking it upon themselves to go learn English and then teach it to their children. That's one aspect of it. I have seen others that are doing this. I saw this, I think it was in like Sichuan province or something. Um, some friend of mine, it was in Chongqing. A friend of mine there sent me some photos. They are advertising adult English classes with built-in childcare. So you understand. So like, you buy a VIP English course, you take English lessons from an English teacher, which technically is not supposed to be not for profit for children, right? But your child is sitting next to you as child care while you, as the parent, takes this course. So there's lots of like little things that the market is adjusting to with all of these new rules. I saw another one. They're not teaching mathematics; they're teaching computer coding. They're not teaching English literature. They're teaching playwriting. English playwriting, or something along those lines. So they're manipulating the language a little bit in their advertising and in the courses that they're offering to get around this. So the industry is not going to die. It's just going to morph into something that, frankly, we don't know what it is yet. And I've seen some creative results out of this. And it's going to be interesting to watch it kind of evolve. Hmm. Uh, Politics. Nah, politics. If you guys don't know, I'm actually a very political guy. I have very strong political. I'm American. We all do, right? But I really want to keep politics off this channel completely. That's not what it's about. I'm here to put my camera on beautiful things and talk about my life. No offense, dude. No offense. I get enough political arguments with my local friends and my family back home, and quite honestly, I think uh it's not for 10:30 o'clock, 10:30 at night. I don't even have a beer. I'm drinking lemonade. Inside a 5,000 room quarantine center for overseas arrivals. We've talked about this in the past live streams. Here it is. 5,000 rooms, like a giant, massive hotel built in Guangzhou. For when you arrive in Guangzhou, you're supposed to spend 2 weeks here. And this is just one. This is the first one, and I think it's open now. You can see that's the aerial view of it. It's massive. And I know that I'm hoping I can go home tomorrow if I wanted to and come back without a special letter from the government. It used to be I'd had to get an approval letter, even though I have a residence permit to come back into China. That has been dropped. Americans can now come and go freely, but anyone who comes back into China, even from Macau or Hong Kong, has to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. By the way, they were going to drop the Macau quarantine rule. I was going to be able to go to Macau and come back in like the same day without any quarantine problems. That was supposed to happen like today, but they caught like 3 guys in Macau that like got COVID or something, so they put a squash to that, unfortunately. But this is what it is. This is just one, and this is not built as a temporary facility. I won't point that out. This is built as a semi-permanent, if not permanent, facility. I think China is under the impression that uh, that this is going to be here for a very long time, and so they're investing in their quarantine capacity for all arrivals coming into China for the conceivable future for years, and that's kind of what they're thinking. It's for more than it's. Let's see if I got. No, that's it. And this is what you're going to go to. This is going to be a natural, normal thing for anyone coming to China for business, to live, or to visit. You're going to go here. They're going to be going to a place like this. This is the first one. It's in Guangzhou. They actually have plans on building a chain of giant quarantine centers. So these are going to be all over the country. Because right now, the quarantine centers are like local hotels, and there's a mismatch of quality and comfort and price, and so they're trying to you know make it standardized, okay? Because they really have this zero tolerance approach to the whole idea. Here it is. Local authorities have until the end of October to convert or build the hubs. National Health Commission official told a briefing this week with the requirement for at least 20 rooms for every 10,000 residents. The goal is to prevent the country's quarantine facilities from becoming scattered or disorganized. Cities will also need to provide a list of backup accommodations locations to ensure the effectiveness of their quarantine system. Okay. So that's it. They're going to be all over the country. Great, fine. That's good. At least they have a plan. At least they have a plan, and this is their plan, and they're executing it. This this is not the inside of the actual one in Guangzhou. Looked a little bit different. It looked like a regular hotel room with a larger bed, a little bit larger bed, but um, I don't remember there being a balcony in the one in Guangzhou, the actual one. But yeah, what do you guys think? Okay. Let's change subject real quick. Take a look at this interior design. I have actually been talking with some people about going to some very expensive homes. I'm talking like not like an expensive apartment or $1 million house. I'm talking like $100 million houses, estates with multiple guest houses and equestrian facilities and helicopter pads all throughout China. And I'm hoping that this comes through this winter or this fall and into the winter. I will have the opportunity to tour some of these super ultra luxury estate houses and film them and put them on the channel. This is something I'm working with some very special people that are going to make this happen, and I'm really really excited for it. But this is just I like the dark blue and the dark wood and then the concrete feel of this. A friend of mine said, "Oh, it's so cold." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's so cool." I really love it. I love that dark kitchen. That looks great. I think this is in Shenzhen. I hate these chairs though. Those chairs look horribly uncomfortable. Talk about an ultra modern living. Look at that bathroom with a black. I love it. I think it looks great. Very easy to keep clean, that's for sure. Uh, yeah, I even like the bedroom, man. Little desk in the window. All right. Okay, I'll end with this. Studios in Guangdong, paradise for photography. I have done the Zhongshan movie studio here in Nanlong. I did a video about it like a little over a year ago. This is an okay video. I've been there a couple times. I'll go back again if I need to. It's really cool. You have like a little ancient Tokyo. There's old Guangzhou. There's like a London and a old West kind of backlot. Even has like Sun Zhongshan's mausoleum, you know. And you can go there. You can dress up in the period and take photos and everything. But these are scattered all over Guangdong. These movie sets, these movie studios. So here's one in Nanhai. I think this one's in Guangzhou. No, Foshan, Foshan, the next city up. And I've been wanting to go to this one for a long time. But it's just an interesting place. This is where they film a lot of like music videos and commercials and also movies, period movies, a lot of period movies. They're not expensive to get into, and you can just walk around and check it out. Very cool. National Arts Studio. Where's this at? I don't know this one. Look at that. This is also in. Wow, this one's also in Foshan. I don't know this one. Longfeng Villa Film and Television Studio area. Kind of looks like Disneyland, doesn't it? This one's in Dongguan. Okay, I have actually seen photos of this. I've seen this one before. This is the Xiangxi studio. Ancient Qing dynasty kind of look. This one's also in Dongguan. And this is the Zhongshan studio. This is the one in my backyard. I've done videos on this before. The Chikan movie town. Include European style buildings, traditional Chinese residences, constructed in Chinese architectural styles in the 1920s. Nearby Kaiping, which I've been to. I didn't know this was out there. Kaiping Jiangmen, which is the city next to me. So they're all within driving distance. Okay. So I will be. This is a project that I saw this article and I said, I got to go to every single one of these and film it. So I will be doing vlogs about all of these because I think they're interesting. That's it for the news. A comment of at least they have a plan and are actually making it happen. Yeah, that's. I'm happy they have a plan. They're making it happen. No, it's not a political jab. It's not a political jab at all. You guys know my thoughts on it. I don't have to go into it. All right. With that being said, oh, I got one more here. Wayne explores English. Cool name. I'll be teaching in Guangzhou spring semester. I'll probably be staying in that facility. Yes, you will. And you know what? I haven't met anyone who has stayed in the facility yet. I haven't seen any kind of reviews or what it's like. There was a short little video of someone walking through the pre-opening, but I'd love to hear about the experience from someone who's been there firsthand and kind of garner what it's all about. I mean, I've heard of people coming through quarantine and they put you on a bus, they take you to a hotel and you're in that hotel, but every hotel is different. But because these are massive facilities, the quarantine hotels are just going to be like backup locations in case, you need that. Um, I would love to hear the experience and I probably will be staying in them sometime in the future as well. It'll be interesting to see how different they are between now when they're brand new and a year or two from now when they've been used for that long. Um, we'll see how they stand the test of time. With that being said, I think I'm going to get off. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. So I'm going to get up early and watch the Dodgers hopefully beat the St. Louis Cardinals. It's going to be a great game. If we win the wild card, which I really hope we do. Then we go and play the Giants for the division series, which will be an epic best of 5. So it's going to be a fun weekend. And even if the Dodgers do not get go deep into the playoffs, it's still going to be a wonderful October for baseball. We got some great teams, and I'm going to enjoy every single game I can. And this is my favorite time of the year for baseball. Even if my team isn't in the running, I love October baseball. I love the excitement in the air, and I can't wait. So I'm gonna get ready for bed and then call it a night. Be on the lookout tomorrow. Oh, I got to tell you about the vlogs coming out. So tomorrow is the Shenzhen International Auto Show, which is being uploaded in 4K again. That's coming out. Baseball in China. I got Shiko. I got my trip to Shantou that we took. A lot of food videos. Horseback riding in Zhongshan. There's a long history of it here. I got the My China story about that weekend that few days that all the bloggers and all the vloggers came here to Zhongshan to learn from each other, to collaborate, to a lot of people got awards. I got many people. I was interviewed like 20 or 30 times. So I'm going to be all over other people's channels, and all these people are going to be on my channel for that one. It's going to be a great one. What else I got? I got, I lost my list. It was literally like 15 different projects that I'm currently working on, and I got a lot more juggling around in my head, including Shashi live streaming, more in Guangzhou, going back out to Jiangmen, doing Guifengshan, going into southern Hunan province. I will be making a 3-day weekend trip to Beijing to go to the Universal Studios now that it's open. That is in the future. I've already put it onto my schedule, as well as a possible trip to Guizhou for a 3-day conference in Guizhou if I can find someone to cover my lecture from one day. So I'm working on that now, and be on the lookout for some other videos coming from other vloggers here in China. They just had the Chinese air show in Zhuhai last week, and there's going to be a flood of great content coming from all the China vloggers about the summer, the holiday, and life in general here. So thank you all for your continued support, and we'll see you in the next one, guys.